It's probably embarrassing how many I have, to be quite honest. No, I'm gonna do this until I get it. I'm gonna repeat it over and over and over again. Welcome to my channel where I share crochet and knitting patterns and tutorials, as well as finished projects and lots of fun fiber things. You guys, today I am super excited because I just reached 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for following along with me on this crochet and knitting journey, and I could not have done it without you guys. There is going to be a super fun favorites giveaway coming up very soon, so stay tuned for that. But I just wanted to say a huge thank you because I am super excited. I never knew how much I would enjoy making YouTube videos, and I have all of you guys to thank for supporting me, so thank you so much. My friend Marquita Makes tagged me to share 10 crochet and knitting facts about myself, and before we dive into those, make sure you go check out Marquita's channel. She is such a super sweet, genuine, and wonderful person. She is really talented. Y'all, she has such a knack for going and looking at a picture or a movie or seeing something that she loves and just recreating it. Like, she figures it out. It is so cool. You also need to make sure you check out the socks that she recently finished. They definitely have inspired me to get going on some socks for myself, but they are beautiful and she is so wonderful, so make sure you go check her out. Thank you again, Marquita, for tagging me in this video. I want to tag all of you. So if you would like to share any of these facts about your own crochet and knitting journey, I would love it if you put it in the comments below so that I can get to know you better. Let's go ahead and dive into these 10 crochet and knitting facts. Fact number 1 is, how long have I been knitting and crocheting? I've definitely been crocheting for longer, and probably almost or a little over 30 years. My mom taught me how to crochet when I was very young, and it didn't really stick. Like, I didn't get serious about it until my 20s probably, but I would pick it up and put it down and pick it up and put it down. And so it's something I've definitely enjoyed, but I do have to say that it took me forever to become bold with what I made. Like, I made scarves forever, like that was all I made. And I was always scared to take the plunge into making garments and things like that. I actually share more about that in my 5 tips for crocheters who want to learn to knit. But I honestly took forever to take any risks with crochet. And with knitting, it took a lot longer to stick. My mom tried to teach me so many times, and for some reason it just like would not stick. And then finally, about 5 or more years ago, I was like, no, I'm gonna do this until I get it. I'm gonna repeat it over and over and over again until I knit and purl in my sleep. I will be knitting. So after I determined that I was gonna do that, and I didn't care how much practice, redo, I was determined that I was going to learn how to knit this time. So I'm so glad I did. And with knitting, I did not waste any time. I dove right into garments, and I was like, I am just going full force. I've waited too long to do this. So if you guys are nervous about making a garment or anything that pertains to crocheting or knitting, just getting started with one or the other, I say go for it. Honestly, you'll be so happy you did. And it might take a little bit of time, and you might have to practice. It will be so worth it, I promise. Question number 2 is, what is my oldest make? Now, y'all, I have no idea. Like, it's been so long, I cannot remember. I know that I made like so many scarves, and like I was probably, I mean, I don't know, I might have been 6 or 7 when I started crocheting, and so I know that I made a ton of scarves, and that was definitely the first thing that I ever made, but I cannot remember what it looked like or anything like that. I do have a couple of things that I made when I was a kid, but they were more sewing projects. Honestly, I cannot remember what. I know it was a scarf, but I cannot remember for the life of me what it looked like. Now with knitting, since that was not that long ago, I think it was a cowl as well. I mean, I did make so many swatches of just knit and purl stitches because, as I told you before, I was super determined to figure it out. But definitely a cowl was my first make with knitting. Question number 3 is, what is my most recent make? If you guys caught my previous video, I made a top for my niece that I was super excited to make for her. I actually got the picture from Pinterest, and I talk about all of that in the video. I used intarsia with it. It was a great opportunity to just take something I saw in a picture and try to recreate it. It was definitely a little bit of a challenge, but I was excited with how it turned out. And my other most recent make you guys haven't seen yet, but it's my knit collage knit along sweater. I can't wait to share it with you. I've just been so behind with filming the video for it, but I promise it's coming soon. So that was a super fun make as well. Question number 4 is, what is your dream yarn? Now, I love this question because I love yarn so much. If you've been following along with me for a while, then you know how much I love yarn. It is just one of my favorite things. But honestly, knit collage is my dream yarn. Like, I just love it so much. I love the textures, I love the colors, and so I'm super excited to have already tried that yarn. I have several colors that I still want to try in knit collage yarn, but honestly, I love it so much. Another yarn that I love so much and I feel like just speaks so much to my heart of color and texture is Melanated Boho Bay. I actually did a Meet the Maker with her a while back on my channel, and she is so talented, Amanda. She is just awesome. So her yarn is also a dream yarn of mine, but I was trying to think of one that I have not tried yet that I've always wanted to try, and it's Hedgehog Fibers. That is definitely one I want to try. I can't believe I haven't tried it yet, but honestly, they have the most beautiful colorways, and so that is on my list for sure as a dream yarn. Okay, y'all, this next question I'm gonna have to film tomorrow because I forgot that I needed to get my whips out to count them. It is probably embarrassing how many I have, to be quite honest. I was going to film this video earlier today, but the electrician was here hammering, and so I'm filming this at night, which I don't usually film at night, but I will have to dive into all my whips tomorrow. You will see the clip right here along with the rest of the video. If you are feeling like you have a lot of whips, I'm sure that I will make you feel better because, y'all, I have a lot. Got a cardigan here in this cart and another sweater behind it. So I guess all in all, it's not quite as bad as I thought it was. There are a few projects that I am just gonna abandon and they'll go back into my yarn stash. But as you can see, I love starting projects because I get super excited about them, want to use the yarn, and then a lot of times they will just sit and I'll forget where I was and the project, the design, and I will not finish it. I'm really trying to be better about working on 1 or 2, 3 maybe at the most, but projects, and then finishing them before I start another one. I'm really trying to be better about that, but we'll see how long that lasts. Question number 6 is, what does your stash look like? Recently, I organized it, so I am very happy to say that it is much more organized than it used to be. I actually have a yarn organization video. I will put it up here and also in the description box below. But I had a lot of fun organizing all my yarn, and honestly, it has really been helpful for me to be able to see everything and know the weights that I have and the colors and those weights. So I'm very happy that I took the time to organize all of it. I really tried to work through a lot of my yarn that I have on hand, but sometimes it is just super hard to resist other yarn, and so I've definitely acquired a few more skeins since doing that video, but I am very happy to have it organized where I can see it. So question number 7 is, are you a loose or tight crocheter and knitter? I am definitely a loose crocheter and knitter. Now, if I'm stressed or tense about something, it will change the tension quite a bit. But overall, I am a loose crocheter and knitter, specifically, or especially knitter. I knit very loosely. Sometimes I have to be careful with knitting because I will get really loose with knitting. I think it depends on the needles that you have or the crochet hooks that you have too. That definitely affects whether you crochet looser or tighter or knit looser or tighter. But overall, I am definitely a loose crocheter and knitter. Question number 8 is, when do you weave in your ends? I would love to say that I weave them in as I go, and when I finish a project, I'm like, I really should have woven this end in as I went. So that is what I would like to do, but I forget, and so usually at the end is when I weave in my ends. Question number 9 is, what is a pattern that you can't stop thinking about? Honestly, there are a lot of patterns that I want to make, but there's not one that stands out as something that I'm just like dying to make. Love to make the Majestic Mountain Sweater by Stephen West. I also love the Sunset Ringer Tee pattern by Two of Wands, and I also love a lot of Happy Love Co designs, and I've made a couple of those and would love to make some more of those. I also love the As If Tee by Shay Johnson. I've made it once already, but I would love to make another one. I love that top so much. That was my first time working with mohair, and I absolutely am obsessed. So I would love to make that. And I'd also love to make a raglan. I don't think I've ever made a raglan at this point. And I'd also love to do some more color work. There's never enough time to design all the things and make all the things. I'm sure you guys can relate. So we've made it to the final question, number 10, and that is, what is your biggest knitting or crochet goal? My biggest knitting and crochet goal is to design garment patterns with a wide range of sizes. I recently started taking Julie Robinson's pattern grading bootcamp, and I am so excited to be learning more about just different fits and how you plug the numbers in for a wide range of sizes. I've just wanted to do this for so long and been so intimidated by it because there's so much math, but she is so helpful and has really been making it easier to understand, and so I'm very excited to be taking another step forward in that direction. So that is my ultimate goal. I love making garments. I love designing garments. It is my absolute favorite thing to do with knitting and crochet. So now I'm very excited to have more of an understanding and knowledge of how to make these garment patterns for multiple sizes. So stay tuned for garment patterns coming hopefully very soon. If I can wrap my head around it, hopefully very soon. But I'm very excited. So that is it. Those are the 10 crochet and knitting facts about me. As I mentioned before, please let me know down below if there is one of these crochet and knitting facts that you want to share about yourself. I would love to hear. Thank you again, Marquita, for tagging me. This is a really fun video to film, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I would love it if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to join me for all the fun crochet and knit things. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!